Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They turn their head over, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spin, I ain't listening, is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So time war, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't just do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow side, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Wow, look at this. 94% of people believe company culture is important.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2, you hear me? 144 back again. Run it back. Yeah. It's time to leave the enemy desolate. I'm heaven sent, these niggas just on some extra shit, and I ain't impressed with it. Could you kick that bullshit to the left of me? Hey look, you can't deny this excellence. I use this mic like weaponry, and I've been seeking more clarity. Right now I'm ready as I'll ever be, rugged as I ever been. The devil knocking at my door, I'ma let him in, cause I'm a worthy adversary. Pour them liqueur laced with rosemary. It's time to grind, ain't no time to tarry. Take one of mine, get your soul carried. I got them worry, plus these niggas full of estrogen. They fickle, they false. Gotta be bold, so end up in the real issue. Fuck with my brethren, I deal with you. Yeah, look, it's getting real official. Seeing how them bitches can cross you, and how they still twist you. It'll hit you, they peel a tissue. Them others weak, my brother's been sent to the deep. So tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't want to see no more desolation. I said I don't want to see no more. Hey, in my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. Out my door, death is waiting. But I don't want to see no more desolation. But I don't want to see no more
Beat the cops, beat the ops, beat the motherfucking eyes. I'm the one. Why you think that I've been rolling with a Kai? Your little arms is too short to hotbox with God. French is long, team strong with them, a gun, die would die. Tired of these fake snakes, crooked Nate to oppress Jake. No pressure makes diamonds I won't break on this crooked landscape. We gon' make some shake, so I ain't got time to argue with you fucking reprobates. While these crackers getting richer when we raise the crime rate, and they hunt my people like gorillas and some primates. So we in these streets trying to raise a brother's mind state in every concrete jungle, from Cali to the tri-state. I buried brothers over beef that they couldn't squash. Blood in the streets, brains out like galosh. I trust the cracker when I mix that squash. You listening to real niggas, dog, who can't be bought. Whoa. Why you think I go so hard? Cause this world's fucked up, nigga, I've been scarred. PTSD, brothers can't drop their guard. Every day some bullshit, you gotta weave and bob. It's no facade, so every day I'm on my job. It's time to send these devils to the land of Nod. Cause when I lost my religion, that's when I found God. So when I lost my religion, nigga, I found God.
In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't want to see no more desolation. I said, I don't want to see no more. Hey, in my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't want to see no more desolation. And I don't want to see no more.
What if recording high-quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star was as simple as
This truth is my everything. But we ain't Christian, we'll fall on your ass. Plus, you know we keep the metal things. How you want to settle things? I suppose you'll take the proposal. We'll make that metal ring with the Glocks of the hecklers. We some righteous ass brothers, but some certified steppers. We some priests at the end of the day, so we teaching in the streets till the end of the day. We on the front line, we the ones that you want in the game. Fourth quarter when it's crunch time, and all my brothers is clutch. Squad full of silent killers, we ain't talking too much, but we'll teach you if you're humble. Just learn to follow orders, don't mumble. Get it done. And he that have an ear, I pray listen. Yeah, we want all of the smoke, we ain't Christians. This the life of a priest that we go in the streets, and you know we teach the Jews. Fresh braids to my head, fresh boots on my feet, and you know we keep the jewels. Whole squad of real niggas, we some certified killers, and you know we got the tools. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian, ain't shit sweet. You must have got us confused, got us confused. Got us confused, got us confused, got us confused, got us confused. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian. Got us confused. We nothing like the mother niggas. We ain't the same. We some righteous ass, hardcore, rugged niggas. And it's a shame that you full of pride. We don't affiliate with none of you clowns. Plus these heathens getting nullified. This the life of a priest and a prophet. Fake niggas be cautious. Words flow, true drip like a faucet. The righteous stand bold, I'm in line form. Quiet, loud voice cutting through a quiet storm. Like King Ty with the fire bombs. It be smoke when we drop the cannons. No Viacom. The home of the truth, we don't play around. Hide the women and the liquor when we taking ground. Living in hell, but make the best of it and endure through the rest of it to the end. And you ain't gotta listen if you choose, as long as you don't get us confused. We not Christians. This the life of a priest that we go in the streets, and you know we teach the Jews. Fresh braids in my head, fresh boots on my feet, and you know we keep the jewels.
Whole squad of real niggas, we some certified killers, and you know we got the tools. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian, ain't shit sweet. You musta got us confused, got us confused. Got us confused, got us confused, got us confused, got us confused. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian, got us confused. Just the life of a priest that we go in the streets, and you know we teach the Jews. Fresh braids in my head, fresh boots on my feet, and you know we keep the jewels. Whole squad of real niggas, we some certified killers, and you know we got the tools. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian, ain't shit sweet. You musta got us confused, got us confused. Got us confused, got us confused, got us confused, got us confused. Nah, nigga, we ain't Christian, got us confused. Kwame Yashala, you don't want no problems. My brothers, they stand around me on point like equal dollar. Don't make the wrong move or face the repercussions. Just keep bluffing and give me a reason for me to flush it. My people lusting after the serpent and he beguiled you. Wicked niggas just keep on sinning like we allowed to. 400 plus years of being in chains. They took the yoke up off our neck and put it straight on our brains. So what's changed? There's no new thing under the sun. They still slaughter us, die by the knee and scatter the gun. It's open season, murderous killers for no reason. It's my people I love, I ain't fucking with no heathen. I don't wanna meddle, my niggas, we still oppressed. We just went from a pot to a kettle. One West rebel, pressure bust pipes or a blood vessel. You know the white man is the devil. This truth will never stop teaching. UPK soldiers in every region. Right now is the time and the season. No heathens, no heathens. Just before the sun of no treason. One West until a nigga stop breathing. Kwame Yashala, we screaming. No heathens, no heathens. Death before the sauna, we living through trauma. Under commanding General Yohana, this army is stronger. We on the front line, ready to die for this truth. While the white man kissing our boots. And I don't never see none of you cowards when the work is getting started. Cause year of your father, the serpent in the garden, they plotting and scheming. We going through curses, fighting demons. Give a fuck about a flat earth while my people out here feeding pain and anguish. Because the gates thereof language scattered abroad. We was given another language, plus we living at the bottom. Supposed to be on top. When to stop, get killed by the hands of these wicked cops. Lacing our boots, ready for war. This is One West, and we are not affiliated. Nigga, fuck the rest. Me and my brother just want a ball. Shout out to ICR, and we some warlords. Learned that from Yasha. This truth will never stop teaching. UPK soldiers in every region. Right now is the time and the season. No heathens, no heathens. Just before the sun of no treason. One West until a nigga stop breathing. Kwame Yashala, we screaming. No heathens, no heathens.
Now, let me tell you guys something. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, we the true Jews of the Bible. We gotta come together and stop fighting against each other, man. Instead of loving these heathens, we need to love each other. That's the only way we gonna win this war against our enemies.
This truth will never stop teaching. UPK soldiers in every region. Right now is the time and the season. No heathens, no heathens. Just before the sun of no treason. One West until a nigga stop breathing. Kwame Yashala, we screaming. No heathens, no heathens.
Now I'm telling you, man, there really ain't gonna believe that I got a baby in my arms while I'm doing this. Little Zahar, man, won't be quiet, but check it out, yo. Yo. Playing spades, reminiscing on days before niggas started shooting, we would still catch fades. It's like the world's a lot scarier since crack grenades, and the only thing that we became is rats in a maze. Cause all my brother cares about is trapping in J's. Mine's fucked up from the pills and the haze. Pop said we hard-headed, stuck in our ways, so I've been praying to the most high that it's just a phase, yup. Hardly surprised and always amazed, especially at what's been getting radio plays. Yo, I wanna be the cataclysm of a cataclysm, bomb atomically and take it back to lyricism. But you know nowadays, it seems like it's forbidden. Anybody in the industry knows they ain't fucking with them, and anyone on sign, they wanna be outshine. So I guess it's just me, myself, and all these empty lines. I never knew that being nice would get you penalized. Once you blowing up, they wanna know your penis size. Hoes all staring, saying you got dreamy eyes. And if you ain't fake, they wanna see you demonized. If they be dropping gems, then this flow is El Dorado. A midnight marauder, young desperado with a bravado. That's a hard act to follow. Make your favorite rapper look like amateurs at the Apollo. Yo, and that's a hard pill to swallow. Me and my vato steady painting pictures like Picasso. Feds trying to clock us like Pablo and Gustavo. Go and tell, straight to the Gestapo. Hola muchacho, yo hablo español. El hombre blanco es el diablo. Now I'm going over heads like a poncho. Trying to stack chips with more cheese than some nachos. Why you acting macho? Your whole clique is gato. They ain't want beef, but I'll feel it like a taco. Yo, don't get it twisted like a rasta. Don't be bringing none of that bullshit into mi casa. You ain't seen this much crack since the Contras. Belly of the beast, we all live inside a monster. That's why I be thanking God I'm alive, tapping into different vibes, penning more than a scribe. Every verse an open letter sent to all the tribes. Lost in the ghetto, steady struggling to survive. Yo, the things I seen with a pair of eyes got me out here living in this life desensitized. Part of the reason that I'm hardly if ever surprised. I've heard the screams of brothers and seen mothers that cried. Seen a soul leave a body right before he died. 23 years old, gunned down before his prime. While your favorite rapper only talking dollar signs. But when our people in trouble, they quiet as a mime. Every day is the struggle, I speak it through these lines. That's how I know they can't relate, I speak their daily lives. I'm representing for my nation or the lost tribes. All my people that been locked up ain't see 25. Cause being born a minority was their first crime. They serve and protect, choking your neck, sever your spine. They murder one of us, no guilty verdict when they try. They wonder why they get no respect and we call them swine. Live in a time where you lose your life and become a vine. Friends turn to t-shirts, corners turn to shrines. And if our leader ain't a Pharisee, then he's a scribe. Cause he ain't coming out unless he thinks he can scrape a dime. Get his name in the paper, face in the lime. The world's black and white and you better pick a side. If I wasn't strong enough, then I would break inside. But I found the truth right before I lost my mind. Sorry, mama, I promised it wouldn't change me, but I would have went insane had I remained the same me. And I know you feel the same way if they slay me. So when I say the white man is the devil, don't blame me. I'm not here to make friends, kiss babies, shake hands for politics. Yo, what's affecting all the college kids? I mean, why did the students shoot up the colleges? Newborns found in shopping bags and garbages. All these problems that nobody acknowledges. Promise you one thing, you gonna acknowledge this. You know what I mean? Like that.
Salt of the earth, then our taste gon' stale. Black man, Hispanic man, we got no time to be weak. Rap is just a free throw. I got the game sewn. When I'm done, drop the white now. Taking my home.
I was 24, trying to see 25. I was
burned down side, turn Babylon into rumble. Black man, Hispanic man, we got no time to be weak.
Looked around, all I saw was death in the streets. That's why every time I speak, I put life in the beat. They ask me why I ain't smile, life ain't sweet.
Black man, Hispanic man, we got no time to be weak. Looked around, all us death is death in the streets. That's why every time I speak, a life in the beat. They ask me why I ain't smile, nigga, life ain't sweet. Black man, Hispanic man, we got no time to be weak. Nah, I said it best, you know we just surviving the times, and it's survival of the fit. Strong survive. That's why each and every day I pray to the Most High, cause most of my people ain't make it to see 25. I was 24 trying to see 25, but the shit that I'm spitting crackers ain't gonna want me alive. I was 24 trying to see 25, but the shit that I'm spitting crackers ain't gonna want me alive. I was 24 trying to see 25, but the shit that I'm spitting crackers ain't gonna want me alive. Less it's 25 to life and I'm stuck in a cell. 23 hours to slot, yo my nigga, that's hell. We the salt of the earth and our taste gone stale. Living in a system set up for my people to fail. We the salt of the earth, our taste gone stale. Living in a system set up for my people to fail. We the salt of the earth and our taste gone stale. Living in a system set up for my people to fail. It's time to come together, that's the only way to excel. May the Lord's anger rain down fury like hellfire and brimstone. Revert these devils to Flintstones. Burn down Sodom, turn Babylon into rubble with it. Burn down Sodom, turn Babylon into rubble with it. Burn down Sodom, burn down Sodom, burn down Sodom, turn Babylon into rubble. Burn down Sodom, turn Babylon, rubble with the angel and the Lion of Judah, king of the jungle. Ephraim is a flame, turn the Esau into stubble. This is the patience of the saints, so always remain humble. He who endures to the end will see this place crumble. Blessed is the man who sees the fall of his enemies. His prophecy is destiny. Been at war for centuries, victims of lost identity, but now we got the recipe. The Bible is the remedy for healing all extremities. Blessed is the man who sees the fall of his enemies. His prophecy is destiny. Been at war for centuries, victims of lost identity, but now we got the rest. The Bible is the remedy for healing all extremities. I said the Bible is the remedy for healing all extremities. We speak the truth until the day that we die. Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. We speak the truth until the day that we die. Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. We speak the truth until the day that we die. The day that we die, the day that we die. I rep the Most High until the day that I die.
We still put the bars together with anger and vengeance, praying that the breath of my enemies get extinguished. Niggas rhyme nursery like I'm here in Disney. How can I spit soft when crackers they wanna end me? Trying to take my life and my kids without a father. Trying to take my life and my kids without a father. Trying to take my life and my kids a father. That's why you see me rolling around with that revolver, 6-shooter on me like I'm in the Wild West. Call them trying to steal them bars, they want the style next. 6-shooter on me like I'm in the Wild West. Call them trying to steal them bars, they want to steal. 6-shooter on me like the Wild West. Call them trying to steal them bars, they want the style next. But they can't duplicate y'all where they recuperate. Came a long way from moving perks about the Super 8. Hotel, motel, wet-headed wholesale. Now you might see me with fringes all on my coattail. Hotel, motel, wet-headed wholesale. Now you might see me with fringes all on my coattail. Looking like a Hebrew. But I don't beef over the web, just step to me when I see you. Nose triangle on that 50 cal Eagle. Not even a main event, it's just a preview. Right before the movie, big budgets and Uzi. Big butted bitches, low 30 up to the Thule. Nigga so groovy, come and check the stilo. I leave, they talking again, it's like I'm Debo. Rap is just a free throw, I got the game sewn. When I'm done, drop the mic, nah, taking my home. Rap is just a free throw, I got the game sewn. I'm done, drop the mic, nah, taking my home. Rap is just a free throw, I got the game sewn. When I'm done, drop the mic, taking my home. So it won't fall in the hands of fuck niggas. Me, I play the cards I'm dealt with Trump niggas. Ball on these haters, they swear I could dunk, nigga. Want, nigga. Choppers fit nice in the trunk, nigga. A problem over here, you can see me out front, nigga. Jump, nigga. Mean if you frog, you out front, nigga. Front, nigga, front, nigga, front, nigga, front, nigga, front. 6-shooter on me, like I'm in the Wild West.
We speak the truth until the day that we die. Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. We speak the truth until the day that we die. Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. We speak the truth until the day that we die. The day that we die. The day that we die. I'll let the Most High until the day that I die. We speak the truth and still here. Die. Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. We speak the truth until the day that we die. Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. We speak the truth until the day that we die.
day that we die, day that we die.
Like, so you good? Go Yana.
With ISUPK, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. All right, we've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth of the Bible since 1969. All right. The truth of the Bible that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. That's you. You know what I mean? The Lord's chosen people. The ones that never kept the laws of God. The laws were given to us, and we never want to keep the laws of God. You know what I mean? All the way from the time of when we was in the wilderness until now. You know what I mean? It's only been a select few, and it's here in the ISUPK, the ones that keep the commandments now, keep the laws of God now. You dig what I'm saying? Today's ISUPK San Antonio history class / scripture breakdown. All right. And we're going to be going over the beginning of the Dark Ages, what led up to the Dark Ages, and why it's called the Dark Ages. You understand that? All right. All right, let's get into it. Any questions in the room? Yeah. Are you sure? All right. Any questions in the room? Any questions in the room? All right. So why the Dark Ages are called the Dark Ages, right? The Dark Ages is called the Dark Ages because that's when dark people were ruling, right? And it's the Dark Ages because the Edomites, right? The so-called the oppressors, the so-called white man, it was going into a dark period. You know what I mean? Where they didn't have all the understanding, where they didn't have all the different philosophies and all that, you know, all that Galileo and Leonardo DiCaprio, not DiCaprio, wasn't they Leonardo da Vinci and all that stuff? They didn't have that. You know what I mean? It was after the time of Julius Caesar, you know what I mean, and before the time of Leonardo da Vinci and all that. They didn't have all that knowledge and wisdom and things like that they thought that they thought was so prevalent. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right. So after the time of Christ, right? We know about Julius Caesar and about his time of ruling in Rome and how Rome was so big and what do you call it? How Rome was so big and I'm not gonna say knowledgeable, but they were a military might, just like America's a military might. You know what I mean? And America's be all over the earth, putting it down on the military structure. You know what I mean? Going into this country, taking over this country, going to that country, putting, you know what I mean, making threats and all that. That's how Rome was. Rome was all over the earth, putting it down, and it was the first professional military, right? After the fall of after Christ died. After Christ died, right? We were talking about that last time. After Christ died, the Romans that were occupying Judea, where the Israelites were dwelling, they started getting more vicious and more mean. You know what I mean? They were already ruling over us, ruling over us in Judea unjustly, but then they started getting out of control, right? Yes, ma'am. No, that's before 70 AD. That's before 70 AD. That's what I want. I want to go over 70 AD. You know what I mean? I want to go over that. Caviar. Oh, what's up? Tazier got it. So my bad. Okay. Online? Oh, go ahead.
So the brother asked, he says, Salagir, sir, could I, Baba Kashal, get a breakdown or a general breakdown on what the Holy Spirit is?
About what the Holy Spirit is?
Okay.
Well, the Holy Spirit is The Holy Spirit is the Lord's vibe. You know what I mean? It's the mannerism that that the Lord gives you to live by. You dig what I'm saying? You was in the you was in the world, right? You had a worldly spirit doing everything that the world wanted you to do. Whether you was going to the parties, shooting up the block, selling drugs, uh um prostituting thyself, you know what I mean? Whatever you was doing out there in the world, you had a worldly vibe, right? A worldly spirit. Then you come into the ISUPK and you get the Lord's spirit. You good? All right. You come into the ISUPK and then you get the Lord's spirit, right? You get the Lord's vibe, you get the Lord's understanding, and you start to live by that, right? You understand that? You know, and it usually starts with keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what it starts with. You know what I mean? You won't be able to have the Lord's vibe or the Lord's spirit without keeping those law, statutes, and commandments. You won't. You won't. It's not fathomable. If that's the word. Is that the word? That's not a word, right? Oh well. Taziar, put it in your when if we get the kingdom, put it in your dictionary. Taziar's dictionary, all right? Fathomable. All right. All right. You know what I mean? Hey, that's what they do in here that's what they do here in America, man. They just make who's Webster? Y'all know who Webster is? Me neither, but he got a dictionary. You do what I'm saying? He got a dictionary, and people go to that dictionary like that's just the all and be all of the English language. Okay, well, you know, fathomable is going to be in our dictionary. Does that answer your question? All right, no sweat, no sweat. Where was I at? About 70 AD. You good? Nah, I'm not even there at the articles yet. Somebody grab this. This is Babylon and Timbuktu. This is about 70 AD, right? Maybe I should have did the class about 70 AD first. You know what I'm talking about? And then went into the Dark Ages. What's up? I don't know. Go ahead.
This is the book from Babylon to Timbuktu.
Right.
Page 84. All these factors were operating and gave rise to the African Jewish population. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey.
No, 65 AD.
65 BC.
It's BC?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
The Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
Right.
In 70 AD, General.
Hold on one second. Hold on. So 70 BC, right? The Roman Empire came and they occupied Judea, right? That's that's where Christ was and all the Israelites. They were living in Judea. That's why they were always talking about the Jews and not the Israelites, because the Jews is short for Judea, which would be like Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, those three tribes, right? That's talking about Judea. So the Romans came and occupied Judea at that point in time in 70 BC. That's why in the time of Christ, you had the Pharisees and Sadducees, Caiaphas and Nicodemus and all those and all them, right? But then you had Pontius Pilate was the one that they had to turn him over to get him crucified on the cross, right? They had to turn him over to the Romans. You know what I mean? Because the Roman Empire was the ones that was ruling in that was ruling that area. We were something called like tributes. So we were giving tribute or money or they were taxing us, and we was giving that our money to the crown. I seen your mind light up.
No, when you said taxing.
Yeah, basically they'll come in and say, "Oh yeah, okay, well I need this much from everybody." And then they go to the set Pharisees and Sadducees and the chief priests and be like, yeah, this is how much I need. You know what I mean? Every month or every year. You know what I mean? It was called a tribute, paying a tributary. Yes. You said what? Yes.
Our dad, he does not know that he's working for the government and the demons because he's a soldier and we're supposed to be a soldier of the Most High, and it's the Most High's revenge.
Right. I understand. That's why you need to stay in here and you need to work for the Lord. So that way your daddy can see you working for the Lord, and then he'll come in here with you. And then he'll become a soldier for the Lord. All right? All right.
Right.
Okay. What, you got something too?
Is it
Yeah, somewhere.
on? I don't.
It's on. They can hear you on the line. We can hear you.
The enemy tricked us by the morning was a day, but the night was a day.
Say it again.
The enemy tricked us because the night was a day, and
Sit up and talk. You slouch back. We can't hear you. You got to sit up and talk into the mic. Talk.
I am.
Talk.
The enemies they tricked us by the 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 s- the day. Yes. And he tricked us by like today about the when the morning it's not actually a day. The night is the day.
Okay. Yeah, when the sun goes, so what you're saying is that the enemies switched up what the Lord said, because really when the sun goes down, it's a new day, right? I understand that. Yeah, because that's what they want to go against God. That's why it's important for us not to go against God, right? You understand that? All right, give the mic back to Taziar. Let's get back into it.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
Okay, so and now we're talking about 70 AD. This is 100 years of occupation, right? Oh no, 70 AD to it's 140 years of occupation, right? It's 140 years of occupation that they were occupying Judea, and the Israelites got sick of it, right? There's a group called, I don't want to say their name, but there's a group called Sakari. Not the ones today that you know what I mean. The ones back in the day during that time, they were called Sakari. Okay, and they were going around and they were executing people. Not executing, but they were assassinating people. You know what I mean? They had this little knife called a Sakari knife. It's like a little maybe like a 6-inch dagger. And in the public, they'll walk up to you and like surround you and get to stabbing you in public before anybody knew what happened and walk off. You know what I mean? They did a couple people like that, a couple Roman soldiers and a couple Pharisees and Sadducees. You know what I mean? That was orders against Christ, what Christ said. They were going against Christ. So, of course, when all that happened to Rome, they sent their armies and put a squash on the Israelites in Judea. It's called the Siege of Jerusalem. Right? Where they came and they surrounded Jerusalem, and we couldn't get no goods in, couldn't get no goods out, and we started doing things like fighting each other, eating children. You know what I mean? Things like that. We started doing despicable things because we couldn't get no food in and out until they actually came in and started to actually unalive us. I don't want to use the word. Hey man, hold your peace. Remember that question, all right? I got you. Remember that question, all right? Go ahead, Taziar.
Okay. With great slaughter.
They did what? Just start it over again.
Okay. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine,
Right.
many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
Right.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
Right. Over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. Can I ask a question? Yeah, I'm ask a question. So there's Jewish people, right? Jewish people say that they're the people of God, right? They're the people of the book. So they would have had to flee into Africa, right? They were fleeing into Africa, running from Roman persecution. So there were white people fleeing from other white people into a land full of dark people. Would they be easily seen and separated from the people, or would they have been able to go into the land of Africa and be and blend in? No, they would stand out, right? So of course, Jewish people, right? The Jews, right, had to be of a dark-skinned people to go and flee into Africa and be able to hide amongst the other the Africans, right? Go ahead, Taziar.
Okay. Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery.
And what?
Fleeing from persecution and slavery.
Uh-huh.
The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
They were full of what?
Black Jewish slaves.
They were full of black Jewish slaves, right? So when they say the Jews are right, the Jews are black, that is absolutely correct. That's a history book saying that. Is there any more on that?
That was it for the highlighted part.
All right. All right. So, oh God. All right, let's go ahead and get the get that first that I think it's the second article I sent you, Taziar, about the year of the 5 emperors, 193 AD. Who here has seen the movie Gladiator? The first one, not the second one. It's too go Gladiator. You never seen the first one? Are you not entertained? Are you not? Is that it? Yeah, that is Gladiator, right? Yeah. Okay, so shortly after, somebody look up Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius. Soon after the 70 AD and all that, and Vespasian the Titan, there's an emperor that took over called Marcus Aurelius. Let's get into it. Which would be, Commodus's father, right? You got it? Go ahead. I want to know what time when he ruled and when he died, or his age when he died and when he ruled and all that. Go ahead.
Marcus Aurelius Antoninus.
Yeah, they always had like 5-6 names.
Right.
Now you know where the Spaniards get it, right? When that why Hispanics be having 4 or 5 names. That's what I'm saying.
Was a Roman emperor from 161 to 180 and a Stoic philosopher. He was a member of the Nerva Antonine dynasty,
right?
The last of the rulers, later known as the 5 good emperors.
As the 5 good emperors, because they had some emperors were terrible emperors. Some emperors were coming in and killing people and raising taxes, and they were just terrible. They were just terrible rulers. Marcus Aurelius was a good ruler, and he had a son named Commodus, right? Commodus was the guy in Gladiator that was ruling after his father died. I think he actually killed his father in the movie. I don't think that's real though. That's not really what happened. But he killed his father in the movie. That's Commodus. The one he was called the Mad King. Look up Commodus. He was called the Mad King. He was always thinking people was against him and killing people and all types of different things. It was a wild time in Rome. You know what I mean? The way they had to assassinate him. The Praetorian Guard, his guard, his people that guarded him had to because he was running the kingdom into the ground. But that left Rome with no emperor. No emperor to take over after that. That's in 193 AD. Whenever you're ready.
Commodus was was a Roman emperor from 177 to 192, first serving as nominal co-emperor under his father Marcus Aurelius, and then ruling alone from 180. Commodus' sole reign is commonly thought to mark the end of the Pax Romana, a golden age of peace.
Right. After that, after he died, or after he was there was no more peace in Rome. After Marcus Aurelius died, there was no more peace in Rome. Then Commodus took over and he started running the empire into the ground and off with his head. Right? Does it have something about his death on there? No.
I was still reading.
It don't matter. Give it. Now we're gonna get into the. So after that happened, there's different military rulers in different provinces of Rome. Rome is so big. Rome had different provinces. They had Spain and over there in that province they had Britain. In that province they had North Africa. They had over here in Judea in the Mediterranean. They also had the mainland Italy. They had over here in Greece. You know what I mean? Rome was so big, they had all these different provinces with different governors. You know what I mean? In Rome, with their own armies. They were all Roman, but they had their own armies, right? So this is the time of the five emperors. It was 1 year they had five emperors because different people kept coming and taking over the empire and wanting to be emperor. And then another governor come with his army and they'll fight and have skirmishes and they'll take over the empire. And another one to come and they'll take over the empire. There were two black Roman governors, right? One name was Pescennius Niger and one was Septimius Servus. All right. You got that, Taziar? Because just like now, there's cities in America right now with black mayors, right? You know what I mean? So there's back then it was the same thing. There were black people in the army, there was black people in the army, black rulers, black governors, black all that. You dig what I'm saying? Go ahead, Taziar.
This is the year of the five emperors.
And I don't think I sent it to you. But I know I sent it to you, right? I sent it to you too. One second. Where my glasses at? Where my eyes? 1 second. Let me send it to the sister, man. What's going on? What you need, sis?
I'll be right back.
What you think? Hey, mute me, Caviar. Hello. Am I muted? Mute me. She needs to use the restroom. Good. All right, go ahead.
The year of the five emperors was AD 193, in which five men claimed the title of Roman emperor: Pertinax, Didius Julianus, Priscinius Niger, Claudius Albinus, and Septimius Severus. This year started a period of civil war when multiple rulers vied for the chance to become emperor.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay. The political unrest began with the murder of Emperor Commodus on New Year's Eve 192. Once Commodus was assassinated, Pertinax was named emperor, but immediately arose opposition in the Praetorian Guard when he attempted to initiate reforms.
All right. This is so the Praetorian Guard was a special guard that guarded the emperor. It was like the Secret Service. That makes sense. Only one that had control over them were the emperor. That's the only person that had. That's the only person that had control over the Praetorian Guard. But which is really a stalemate, because if the Praetorian Guard didn't like you as an emperor, they'll take you out. You know what I mean? You understand that? So really, the Praetorian Guard chooses who's the emperor or not. Go ahead.
Okay. Then they plotted his assassination, and Petronax was killed while trying to reason with the mutineers.
Right.
He had only been emperor for 3 months.
It took 3 months. It was like, hey man, take him out. Hey, back then it was gory. Back then it was gory. Back then it was rough. Real talk. If you wanted to, if you back then when a king took power, the last king, if he had any children or anything like that, they were off with their head, because they didn't want to be challenged by anybody about their power of kingship. That makes sense. You ever seen Game of Thrones? Hey, Game of Thrones right here. Go ahead.
Okay. Didius Julianus, who purchased the title from the Praetorian Guard, succeeded Pertinax.
He came and paid his way in. Go ahead. He came and paid his way into the emperorship. He had bread. He was like, "Hey man, check this out. I got this. I got some bread. I can give all y'all 50 shekels. You know what I'm talking about? Give all y'all 50 shekels, and then I can raise y'all pay rate and this, that. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all put me in emperor." What do you think they said? Nah, they were like, "Hell yeah, go ahead and get your money. Give me my money." He got it. He got his money, and he got into being emperor, and then let's see what happened to him. Go ahead.
But was ousted by Septimus Severus and executed on the 1st of June.
I'm trying to tell you, if so, 193 AD, right, in the beginning of the year was 3 months. That's March. How long did it last for until June? What, March, June? I mean, April, May, June. 3 more months. 3 more months. Off of his head, they was like, "Nah, thank you for the money, but you ain't gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it." Go ahead.
Okay. Severus was declared Caesar by the Senate, but Priscinius Niger was hostile, so he declared himself emperor.
Right. So then they came and it was like, okay, Septimius Service, you can be king, right? You can be emperor, right? And then Priscinius Niger was like, "Nah, I want to be emperor. You know what I mean? Maybe I should get a chance to rule. Maybe y'all need to stop choosing people and letting people get in there. Maybe I should just get in there and rule." Priscinius Niger was a military general. He wasn't playing that, right? He was loved by the soldiers, but so was Septimius Servius. Go ahead.
Okay. This started the civil war between Niger and Severus.
Right, 2 black men fighting over a white kingdom. Think about that. Go ahead.
Both gathered troops and fought throughout the territory of the empire. Due to this war, Severus allowed Claudius Albinus, whom he suspected of being a threat, to be co-Caesar, so that Severus did not have to preoccupy himself with imperial governance.
You understand what that means? A co-emperor? You know what a co-emperor is? A co.
So the co-emperor,
Yeah.
is someone that rules with another.
Yeah. Yeah, Marcus Aurelius started off as a co-emperor, but then his brother died, Lucius. That's his name. Lucius died, and then Marcus Aurelius took over and became a long-standing emperor, right? So he was a co-emperor. So he wanted to focus on the military battle, right, that he was having with Pescennius Niger, and then so when he was focused on that, he had Albanius as the emperor working on whatever he was working on in the government. You know what I mean? As governed the empire. That makes sense? All right, go ahead.
Okay. This move allowed him to concentrate on waging the war against Niger. After Severus defeated Niger at the Battle of Issus in 194, he turned on Albinus and defeated him at the Battle of Lugdunum in 197. Most historians account Severus and Albinus as two emperors. Though they ruled simultaneously, the Severus dynasty was created out of the chaos of AD 193.
Right. That now we're going into the Servius dynasty, right? The Servian dynasty is the dynasty of Septimius Servus, right? What's the name I sent you?
Septimus Severus.
Yep.
Okay. This is the.
What does it say? Does it say the dynasty or does it say Septimius Servus?
It just says Septimius Severus, Roman Emperor.
All right, let's get that. I think that's it.
Right. Septimius Severus, born April 11th, 145 or 146, Leptis Magna, Tripolitan, now in Libya, died February 4th to 11.
Hold on one second. There's some things that y'all need to know about Septimius Servus. That's not going to be. So Septimius Servus he was from. I was going to say that he's from North Africa, but Septimius Servus was a dark-skinned man, right? So was Pescennius Niger. They were Israelites. They were one of the ones that flee into Africa, and then the other ones was taken into Roman persecution. They were taken into slavery. But like anything else, and you can in slavery, you do enough good or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You do enough of that, they'll let you free. And then you can join the army, and then your family can rise up years later. That's why it took so long for them to become in power, right? So Septimius Servus comes out of that part of the line, right? Of history of being a captive and all that, and he was adopted by Marcus Aurelius. So he's really Commodus's half brother. What's the dude in Gladiator? The Gladiator. No, that's not Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was a dad. You remember how Marcus Aurelius wanted the other brother, not the brother, but the one that he was the Roman general, but he became the gladiator. Maximus, that's his name. That's who this is supposed to be. That's who this is supposed to be, right? A black man, because Marcus Aurelius adopted him. You know how they were all like he didn't like Commodus. Marcus Aurelius didn't like Commodus. Yes.
Wait, so you saying Marcus was the Maximus was the one who led up into Africa?
Yeah, that's what they were fighting at. Honestly, on the second one, right? Where did Maximus? Where did his dad? Where did his son go to? North Africa. Where his daddy's from. Now the second one is bullshit. The second movie is BS. The first movie is BS, but it did have some underlining truths into that. Does that make sense? All right.
Died in February 4th to 11. Abraham Britain, now York, was a Roman emperor from 193 to 211.
Hold on one second. If you want, take them both. No, take them both. Take them both. Go ahead.
He founded a personal dynasty and converted the government into a military monarchy. His reign marks a critical stage in the development of the absolute despotism that characterized the later Roman Empire.
Right, because the Septemian dynasty ruled until 211. No, he was emperor from 211. It was like 235. It was like 235, 236, or something like that. Go ahead though.
The son of an equestrian from the Roman colony of Leptis Magna, Severus entered the Senate about 173 and became consul in 190. At the time of the murder of the insane Emperor Commodus on December 31st, 192, he was governor of Upper Pannonia, now in Austria and Hungary, and commander of the largest army on the Danube River.
The Danube River.
The Danube River. He remained inactive while the Praetorian Guards murdered Commodus' successor, Publius Helvius Petronax.
We just read about that history about how he took power and then they killed him 3 months later. Go ahead.
Okay. March 193, and auctioned off the imperial title to Marcus Didius Julianus. Then, on April 13, Severus was proclaimed emperor by his troops, declaring himself the avenger of Petronax. He marched on Rome. Julianus was murdered at Rome on June 1st, and Severus entered the city without resistance several days later.
Right. People like Septimius Severus. Just like all the white people like black people nowadays. They like Septimius Severus. You know what I mean? You understand that? He walked in there with no problem. They was like, oh, I know who you are. You dig what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Severus replaced the Praetorian Guard with a new 15,000 men guard from his own Danubian legions.
You see that? He wasn't going out like just what's his name? Justinius? No, that's not his name. Julianus. He wasn't going out like Julianus and Petronax with the Praetorian Guard killing them. He 15,000 of his own loyal men. He replaced the Praetorian Guard. Like, bro, y'all ain't finna do me like y'all did them. Go ahead.
Okay. He temporarily pacified his rival in Britain, Decimus Claudius Albinus, by naming him Caesar, Junior Emperor. In 194, he marched east and decisively defeated another rival, Gaius Persinius Niger, governor of Syria. Severus then headed westward to confront Albinus, who had declared himself emperor. Albinus committed suicide following his crushing defeat near Langdonum, now Lyon, France, in February 197. Returning to Rome, Severus executed about 30 of Albinus' senatorial supporters. To justify his usurpation, he declared himself the adopted son of the emperors Marcus Aurelius, ruled from 161 to 180, and claimed descent from the emperor Nerva, ruled from 96 to 98. He also named
Nero.
Nero.
Right? Nero? Nero.
Sir. This is Nerva.
Okay.
He also named Caracalla, his son, by his Syrian wife Julia Domna, as emperor and thus successor. Late in 197, Severus marched east to turn back an invasion of Mesopotamia, now in Iraq, by the Parthians. And 2 years later, Mesopotamia was annexed to the empire. By 202, Severus was back in Rome, where he spent the next 6 years making major changes in the structure of the imperial government.
Right.
Since his power rested on military might rather than constitutional sanction, he gave the army a dominant role in his state. He won the soldier support by increasing their
Hey, Caviar, mute me. Hello.
He won the soldiers' support by increasing their pay and permitting them to marry. To prevent the rise of a powerful military rival, he reduced the number of legions under each general's control. At the same time, Severus ignored the Senate, which declined rapidly in power, and he recruited his officials from the equestrian rather than the senatorial order. Many provincials and peasants received advancement, and the Italian aristocracy lost much of its former influence. Severus paid special attention to the administration of justice. The Italian courts outside Rome were removed from senatorial jurisdiction under the control of the praetorian prefect. After the fall of 205 of the emperor's favorite, the praetorian prefect Gaius Fulvius Plautinius, the distinguished jurist Papinian, became prefect.
Right.
Severus also drew on the advice of the renowned jurist Ulpian in making extensive reforms of the laws. Despite his dominations to the urban poor and his extensive building campaign, Severus succeeded in maintaining a full treasury.
All right, Capriar. Can you put up some pictures of Septimius Niger and Perennius Niger? Yeah. This right here is the beginning of the Dark Ages, right? The first black men that are ruling Europe. Then it starts to get into the actual Dark Ages after the fall of Rome. You know what I mean? Then what's his name? Constantine took power. Constantine was a black man, right? And then it was an emperor named Justinius that separated Eastern Rome from Western Rome, right? Western Rome went into a terrible plague with the Black Plague and all that, and in Eastern Rome, which was Byzantium, the Byzantine Empire, right? We understand. We know what that is. No, we know what the Byzantine Empire is. You heard of it. You heard of it, but you don't know what it is. But the Byzantine Empire was a great empire. That's what, when they say Rome ruled for the next 1,000 years and all that, that's what they're talking about, the Byzantine Empire. You know what I mean? Because that came from the old Roman way of life, which was in Western Rome. Western Rome was done. Europe, that's where you get all those things like King Arthur. You know what I mean? Robin Hood. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't believe Robin Hood was a real person though. But he was based on a real person, but he was not Robin Hood. You know what I mean? but he was a white person that was taken from trying to rob from the black castles. That's why all the castles in Europe were like where we was ruling at. That's where we was ruling, and we was keeping all of the Edomites out of the court. There we go. You know what I mean? Out of the castle. They lived out there on the outskirts in the villages, in the mud, the slushes, and all that. And we was living in the castles. Right? I can't see that. Oh, I can see it. Right? Scroll down and see that's Perennius Niger. Niger. That's Perennius Niger right there. Keep going. Let me see. You got one of Septimius Servius. Oh, I want that coin. Let me see that coin. That Servius coin right there. Can you click it? No, the coin. That's Lucius Septimus. That's Marcus Aurelius' half brother. No, go down, down, left, right there. Look at that. Right? Look at that. Give me some more pictures of the Septimius service. Yes. Click the 5 emperors and then click Septimius service. Yeah, and then click Septimius service. Yep. Right? They got some pictures. Look at that nigga nose. Do they have pictures or do they got some pictures, bro, like paintings. You gotta scroll down. Go, stop. No, you see that picture right there? Yeah. Keep going. Yep. You know what I'm talking about? It's not a known. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. But they're not going to show you this, so you're going to have to go do your own research. Keep going. Did I send you the Servius Dynasty? I didn't send you that. So like, all you gotta do is Google Servius Dynasty, and it shows up pictures of all black men. All right, forget it. All right, forget it, Caviar. You good? You back on here? All right. Any questions? Now you're finna get into yes.
Is there a difference between like Proverbius service and like the Moors? Was he part of the Moors?
I'm gonna say no because the Moors came way back later. They came way later, and the Moors was more like Moors wasn't just a one nationality or one nationality or one religion. They were just a group of dark-skinned people that was smart, and they was bringing different ideas into Europe. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, they were just bringing different ideas. You can be a Moorish, you can be a Moor, Israelite Moor, you can be a Arab Moor, you can be a African Moor. You know what I mean? A Moor is just like it's like a what's that? That's exactly what I was thinking about, like that, like that. And they were just a group, and they just had some knowledge, and they were bringing it. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, we got this new soap. You know what I'm talking about? And we're gonna bring it to y'all and show y'all how to wash. This is something like that. You know what I mean? But black people have been washing. We've been had soaps and things like that. We've been using things like that. There's a city over here with that was in Mexico where they had like soaps and breath mints and things like that, toothpaste. You know what I mean? They're like it was in Mexico. I forgot what it was called. But it was like one of the greatest cities in Mexico. I don't know. But when they went into there, they found like all types of different soaps and breath mints and toothbrushes and you know what I mean? You said what? Oh, go ahead. I believe it. That's the one that's the one that was built on the river, right?
Yeah, it was built on a lake, sir.
On the lake. There we go. Yeah, that was built on water. You know what I mean? You know how you go and see all these lake houses and they're built on stilts and they're in the water. Yeah. Yeah, my Mexican, they built the whole city like that. You know what I mean? They tell me they Israelites. I'm trying to tell you, the greatest people ever. There will never be another people that can be as great as us ever. We have the vibe of the Most High. We got that spirit of the Most High. Real talk. And all we have to do is keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. These people, they're out here trying to figure out how to live life. You know what I mean? And our living life, our rules and regulations is right here in the Bible. All we got to do is go in here, go in these records, and figure out what to do and how to do it, and that's it. But these people have to like try to make laws and rules, and I don't know if this is it and that. Like, and we got ours just sitting right here. And the worst thing about it is, what we do is we say, "Oh man, that book is written by white people," and then we don't follow it. That's what we do. We turn away our whole existence. Everything that we need to succeed here in the world, we don't have it. We don't use it. You know what I mean? Give me Revelations 20:1. And then your call. Find that scripture in Malachi where they were talking about where they were having, I think it's Malachi 1:1. Because I think 1:4 is when he says that he loves Jacob and hates Esau. Malachi 1:4 is before that when he was talking about how they're going to come back and build cities and he's going to destroy. All right. Man, you just got back. You raising your hand. You don't even know what's going on. What's up?
That whenever the police and they're like a part of the devil, and somebody needs help and somebody's robbing them, they know they're there and they know that's wrong to not do that, and then they just do it anyway to think that nothing's happening, and that's how people die. No, I'm saying that that when police officers and when they're not doing their job correctly.
You know what you need to worry about? You know what you need to worry about? You want to know what you need to worry about? Say yeah.
Con. Sir.
What you need to worry about is listening to your parents. Listening to your parents, getting good grades in school, listening to your teachers, and not being bad. That's what you need to be worried about, okay?
Okay.
Don't worry about police brutality, man. All right?
Right.
You call me, okay?
Okay.
You call me, or you call Cappy, or call Tazio, or you call one of us. All right.
All right.
But what you need to do is focus on what your parents say and not being bad and not being a terrible son. You want to be a good son, a loving son. You want to honor your parents, right? All right. That's what you need to worry about, all right? And getting good grades in school. You get good grades in school, General Muhammad might give you some money. I can't give you no money. I'm broke. But General Muhammad might give you some money. You type it up for General Muhammad. And all these questions y'all asking right now and talking about, how come I didn't say that at the scripture breakdown at Passover? Oh, because y'all was playing. See, y'all missed out on some money. Y'all would have said some of this that y'all saying now. General Muhammad would have gave y'all some money. I can't give you no money. I'm broke. I'm broke. I got bills. I pay bills. You see this school? It's a nice school, right? You know what I'm talking about? It's a nice school, right? You know what I mean? Brought to you by the hard work of the brothers in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and the hard work of the sisters too. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about the sisters. Sisters always putting down, you know what I mean? Putting it down. You got that for me? All right. This is leading up to 1,000 years of darkness. Right? This is the book called the Black King. Oh, I want they can see it. The Black Kings of Europe. This is 3. I need to find the first one. We got the first one. I don't know where the first one is. We got the first one and the second one, but this is the third one. So we're missing like 500 years of Black Kings. All right. So this is the third one. I don't want to start here because this is talking about Athelstan, and that's like in like the 1900s. I mean the 900s AD. That's the Roman Empire. That's Edomite books. Showing Edomite history. I need the Black Kings of Europe. If it's not here, I can find it. I'll find it somewhere. I'll look on Amazon and grab them again. But it leads until so we got the ruling. Our different families got to becoming big houses. You know what I mean? So when the fall of Rome happened in Western Rome, we started building up houses, building up castles, and holding our own court. You know what I mean? And that's when years later, with different families like the Stewart family, the Wilkins family, Williams family, Smith family, all of these families are black families. These are black names, right? And they're coming into power in the dark ages. You know what I mean? So don't think about it like everybody came into power at one point in time. It was like one kingdom came into power, another kingdom came into power over here, one was over here. You know what I mean? And then they used to migrate different places in Europe. You know what I mean? So that's why when you get all the way to King James like in the 1600s, but he's the first king of England, sixth king of Scotland. You know what I mean? So they were just trade rulers, switch rulers. People they'll leave their family from over here in Spain and travel over here to France, and you know what I mean. And they'll travel over here to France, and people will follow them, and they'll just start their own little kingdom and their own little, you know what I mean. And it started with it started actually over by the Byzantine Empire, like in Russia, Prussia. So a lot of those movies that we see about like in the dark ages of rulers, and it's like a big magnificent ruling, and you're like, and there's all the white people. That's not real. They're really dark skinned people. They're really niggas. They're really black people. You know what I mean? We're just being tricked by the devil because the devil is showing us that white people, and we're not the people that's gonna go do the research. We're gonna watch the movie and be like, oh, it's a good movie, man. White people, boy, crazy. When that's us. When that's us. And you wanna know why we lost that? You ever seen Braveheart? You remember when they had the Longshank, is it Longshank? Whatever. Yeah, Longshank was the king, and he had his people ruling in those little lands of in the highlands, and then they had the wedding. The Scotland had the wedding, and then the dude came and said, "No, I gotta sleep with your wife before you sleep with her." That's the shit that we was doing. From the Israelites that was in power, ruling, had money and all that, would go to the other Israelites that was in Scotland and tell them, "No, I have sex with your wife before you have sex with your wife." That was the stuff that we were doing. That's why the Lord was like, you know what I mean? Okay, y'all not good at ruling. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to rule like that. You know what I mean? And when King James came to power, King James was an actual man of honor. You know what I mean? And we even took names of things like that, like Anglo-Saxon, right? It says right here, Athelstan was the first black king that united all Anglo-Saxons. Anglo-Saxons is like a word that means like the angelical sons of Isaac. You know what I mean? And then the Britain is like men of the covenant. You know what I mean? That's what it basically translates down to. Does that make sense? So So it's like when you're dealing with history, you have to really look at it with a non-biased scope. You know what I mean? It's just like reading the scripture. If you don't know Jesus is black, right? And you don't know the Jews are black, when you read the scripture, you're gonna think of well, 10 Commandments. I forgot the dude's name that's in it. The white dude that's in the 10 Commandments, Charles Heston. You're gonna look at that movie and be like, see, Moses was white. You know what I mean? You're gonna look at all these movies that got Christ, that got Caesar Borgia in it. You're like, see, that's Jesus. Look, Jesus. If you don't know what you're reading, if you don't know this understanding, and that's what they did. They've hidden this history from us to make us feel like we wasn't there in the Dark Ages. Then when they got a movie like Robin Hood, they're not going to show you that Robin Hood is robbing from black people to give to white people because they were poor. You know what I mean? They're not going to show you that. They're not going to show you King Arthur as a black man. They're going to show you, and that's why when you watch King Arthur movies, some King Arthur movies are just like, oh man, I can believe that. But in some King Arthur movies, he's slaying dragons. You know what I mean? Like, wait, there was dragons back then? You're not even thinking about the King Arthur and his history. You're thinking about King Arthur and him slaying dragons. Like, yeah, he's slaying dragons. I told you there was dragons. That's not real. That's not real. You know what I mean? But yeah, you ever seen the King Arthur movie with man, I forgot his name. I forgot the dude's name. It's a King Arthur movie way like that was like 2002. Huh? No, that was that was before the time. Yeah, that was before this time. But it came like 2002. It's a King Arthur movie. That one is more historically accurate. That's more historically accurate than the King Arthur movie that came out with Charlie Hannon, whatever the dude name, Jax from from Sons of Anarchy. That's more, you know what I mean? When he came and united, he was fighting for Rome, but he was an Anglo-Saxon. They took him when he was a baby. Him, Tristan, and all his round table, his niggas. They took him. Rome took him when he was younger as a kid and made him fight in the Roman army. And then when they went back to Northern Ireland and Northern Britain, they started getting into it with Merlin, and Merlin was an Anglo-Saxon, and he was that Israelite. You know what I mean? And he came to the understanding that, oh, these are my people. You know what I mean? I'm not a Roman. I'm this, and they show Anglo-Saxons as being like a barbarian, which is not true. Which is not true. Some before we went there to be being Anglo-Saxons, they were Celtic people. The Anglo-Saxons in Europe, I mean not Europe, Britain, the Gallic people, the Germanic people. They're Celtic people, but they're dark-skinned also. They're not Israelites, but they're dark-skinned. They're Japhetic, right? Remember I was telling you about? They're the Celtic people. But then we went there. That's where you get the Druids, the Druid people, Samhain, with Halloween, right? And then we went there, and then we started living there, and the Rome started conquering all those people and sending those people into captivity first. That's the early part of Rome in like the 350 BC, you know what I mean, 200 BC. You know what I mean? They were conquering all that. Julius Caesar was one of them niggas that conquered all that. Him, Pompey, Marcus, dude, what's out? He was on the tip of my tongue. Crassus. You know what I mean? That triumphant, the first triumphant. You know what I mean? They conquered all that, and they took over Rome. You dig what I'm saying? So they conquered all that Rome, all that European what's named, and they came and got us, right? They came and got us, and we went into slavery into Rome, but then we started, because we have the Lord on our side, we have that the Lord's vibe, right? We started taking over Rome in certain aspects. The Senate, in the military ways, in the with the becoming generals, becoming high ranking soldiers. You know what I mean? Over like legionnaires, imperators, praetors. You know what I mean? Praetors is somebody that's over a legion. Imperator is over somebody that has many legions. Make sense? You know what I mean? We started becoming that, and then we started becoming generals, coming in the Senate. You know what I mean? To where it wasn't crazy to see a black face. You know what I mean? And then that led to the fall of Rome. Perennius Niger and Septimius Severus came, and then now we're ruling Rome. But then after we're out of power, there's other black people that come, like Justinian, Constantine. You know, Rome fell apart. Black people came over there. Black people went to Byzantine Empire, Eastern Rome. Western Rome started to decline. They had the Black Plague. You know what I mean? They wasn't washing themselves and things like that. So it took Eastern Rome to send people over here to start trying to fix that. And when we started to fix that, we started building castles, ruling in our own family's name. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I mean, I just gave y'all like 500 years of history. Real talk. That's why I need to find the first issue in the second one. That's what the first issue in the second one is. It's called The Black Kings of Europe. The first issue is about that. Is 1,000. Read the back of that. It's three installments to that book.
The Black Kings of Europe.
I really thought she was bringing me that. I really thought she was bringing me the first one or the second one.
1,000 years ago, Europe had several black kings and emperors. It is one of the best kept secrets in the world.
Right.
Evidence is presented in this book in the form of pictures. The book is a must read for anyone interested in black history beyond slavery.
Right. You see that? Because it's like it's really, we were really over there running shit. That's all. Really over there running stuff. I want to. Hey, get this to your mama so they can see that. Y'all can see it anytime. Y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all officers.
I'll bring some books tomorrow that I have on like the timeline.
Yeah.
So that you can see. I have a couple of books.
Let her see. Yeah, because like we have family crest with black men on it. There's like, you know what I mean? We like, I can't. Caviar, pull up a family crest. Pull up a family crest. Yeah. A family crest. Yeah. Like it'd be like if you ever watch Game of Thrones, they have the lion, right? And the lion it's their family crest. You know what I mean? The Starks have wolves. You know what I mean? The Greyjoys have the Kraken. You know what I mean? Because they're over the water. So we'll have a family crest, and that'll be passed down from you to your sons, to your sons' sons, to your sons' sons' sons. You know what I mean? And that'll be your family crest. And it'll be like a lion with flames around it. You know what I mean? He's the fire lion. You know what I mean? Or it'd be a lion with ice around it. You know what I mean? Like he was cold at heart. You know what I mean? Like it'd be meaning behind it. You know what I mean? House of like we've always did that. We do that now. We did that back in the Israelite time. The house of Kabar, the house of Yatazak. You know what I mean? Like you dig what I'm saying? We just don't have family crest. We have like, oh, I'm such and such son of such and such. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? I know your daddy, boy. You really grown up. I remember you was a baby. You know what I mean? That's what that is. So you can know the family crest. Now we have pictures and stuff like that, like on Facebook and all that. They didn't have pictures. That's the only way they would know that was an actual man of that family. You know what I mean?
So when you go to Europe and you see the house of Williamson, the house of Smith,
Yes.
of Stewart.
Yes.
That's a family.
Yes. Those are family. Those are black names, black families. And the reason why, like how many Stewarts do you see now that are white? How many Johnsons do you see that are white? Wilkersons that are white? None.
I've met a white family that last name Stewart, but
how did they spell it?
It's
Stewart. It wasn't Stuart.
No, it was with the A, so but Slovakia, they had, you can tell they were mixed.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like Stewart's, because King James was a Stewart.
Right.
King James was a Stewart, and his line was dark skin. You know what I want. You know what I want to say. I know what I want to say, and I want y'all to do some history about the Hispanics, bro, because I know that they had like family lines like that. You know what I mean?
Slovakia, sir, if I may, that's where you get the Toltecs from.
Yeah.
The Toltecs.
Toltec.
Tola, son of Tola.
That's one of Issachar's sons.
Right.
You know what I mean? We kept our history. It just come a point in time where we got indoctrinated into America, and they started teaching us their history. So we was like, no, we didn't care about. We didn't care about their history. Yes.
Oh, I don't know where the.
Don't tell me you know where they at.
No. So it says like
the certain because I looked it up and everything. I was doing research on it, but the Stewart Stewart.
Yeah,
it actually comes from like the French variant Stewart, which is Stuart. But the ones with the Stewart, which is Stewart, are the people who had the title, were the official people who managed the house, like the people who were in the house, like managing it.
The slaves.
Confirm.
There you go.
And then the Stewart, like Stuart, are the people who were like the
rulers.
Yeah, rulers.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to look. Hey, I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
Like you, sir, was that like done intentionally to like distinguish the two?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's just like black people when we got free from slavery and we wanted to separate ourselves from the slave master. We started doing differentiating of the names that they were giving us. You know what I mean? So where we'll go somewhere like Woods. We were living in the woods. That's what we are. We're the Woods.
Dang, it's like I remember you broke this down to me how how they have like the last name like Gonzalez or something like that,
mm-hmm.
And then they'd be like the people who owned them had kind of like some of the same name, but it was like with the Spaniard version of it or something like that.
If I may, what he's speaking about is how us Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, like you
Right.
sir, us so-called Mexicans, we have Spanish last names, right?
Yes.
But the reason why we have Spanish last names is through the encomienda system that the Spanish um, like had in Nuevo Spain, right?
Mhm.
The New Spain, which now is called Mexico. Like the Spaniard would, let's say he'd be like Juan Carlos de Gonzalez, but his slaves would just be, they wouldn't have de Gonzalez, they'll just be Gonzalez.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, because they want to differentiate themselves. Like, I'm not that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had me in captivity. I'm not that. You know what I mean? But what do I call myself? Because all I've known is being on the Gonzalez plantation.
Right.
That's all I've ever known. You know what I mean? My mama was here. My daddy was here. My grandmama was here. My granddaddy was here. I don't know anything else but the Smith plantation. You know what I mean? So that's why coming into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and getting a name, a Hebrew name, and knowing your tribe, you know what I mean, is very, very, very important, because now you're not a person from this plantation. You're an actual person from this tribe, Ban Yasha Allah, from this nation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And your names actually mean something. You know what I mean? 'Cause when you growing up, I mean, when you get a name that your mama made and mama gave you, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I want Darnell. Darnell's a good name. I named him Darnell. Why you name him Darnell? I don't know. Darnell was up the block. He was, you know what I mean? Like what? You know, like that made no sense. But when you read the spirit, and now you're Kabar. Oh, we brother of the same mind. You're Capiar, young lion. You're a Tazayar, right? An ambassador. You know what I mean? You call Yalla. I just remember suffers. Enduring the power. You know what I mean? Your name means suffer. To suffer, dude. Yes.
It's like I said, did King James and his family, did they ever get overthrown?
Yes. Yes.
Dang.
King James got killed. His sons probably got sent over here. Yeah, y'all got to realize the first slave ships didn't come from Africa. The first slave ships came from Europe. The first slave ships came from here to Europe and from Europe to here. I mean, bitch, I didn't know that, huh? Yeah, because that's what they hide from you, because they want you to be an African American. You can be like, how can I be African American when I didn't even come from the continent of Africa? I came from Europe. Real talk. Caviar, you might as well leave it there.
Wait, so hold on. So they're probably not gonna be. You ain't gonna find them because they probably changed all of their names and everything. Oh,
Yeah. And it's not like they got here and they changed their names, or sometimes they did, like Kunta Kinte. You know what I mean? They beat the names out of them. Your name is Toby, not Kunta. He beat him. Toby. Okay, I'm Toby. All right, I'll be Toby. Y'all call me Kunta, but I'm gonna let them call me Toby. You know what I mean? Like it was things like that. Even in the time of the Maccabees, you know what I mean? We wasn't trying to be Jews. When they made it illegal for us to be Jews in the Maccabees, we started doing things like going to be crypto Jews. We're only Jews at home. We do Passover at the crib. I'm not going, what? Go over there to do what? Nah. We're going to do unleavened bread here at the crib. I'm not finna go out there and do it, because then they'll off with his head. You know what I mean? It's reasons why they don't want us to have that rich history, because like with Nat Turner, when he found out he had a rich history and he found out he was an Israelite, this nigga was like, oh, the Lord is on my side. He has the spirit of the Lord. Off with his head. Let's go and conquer. And then it was a black man, right? That set him up to get caught. You know what I mean? That's why in here in the ISUPK, it's very, 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 very important that we don't water down the ranks.
Right.
because then it'll be somebody that's gonna give everybody up, and they're gonna know everything that we do and everything that's going. Well, they already know everything we do, but then they're gonna be in here like, you know what I mean, trying to put charges, false charges, and all types of crazy things at us. You know what I mean? But like Commander Johanna always say, they try to infiltrate here and bring an agent in here for like COINTELPRO. I'm just gonna have him serving the Lord. That's it. He's gonna be at camp holding post. Like you do right? He's just gonna be at camp holding post. He's gonna be at the feast day reading Hebrew. You know what I mean? He's gonna be at Sabbath service. That's it. You know what I'm talking about? Then he go back and be like, look, I can't be with y'all no more. Why not? Because I'm now you know what I mean, Katazayala in the ISUPK San Antonio. So now I can't be with y'all. You know what I mean? I can't be an I'm with them. I'm going to tell them what y'all doing. Like you feel me? Like that's all it is. You know what I mean? You can't they couldn't do that in no other black group. The Black Panthers, they started selling drugs and selling guns and things like that. The Nation of Islam, they were selling drugs and getting people knocked off. You know what I mean? Here, we ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm talking about? What they gonna find here? Outstanding brotherhood, outstanding sisterhood. They're gonna find counsel. What's up, sis? Use the mic.
Salakia, sir. Did you know that the Proud Boys organization, it's a black man that is like over that?
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
He damn near joined the ISUPK when Commander General to talk to him. I seen it. He was ready to be like, Kwam Yashallah. He was ready to hit that. Y'all see that? When Commander General talked to the Proud Boy, he was ready to. He was like, just you said we're all black and come where? All right, well, I'm gonna be there. Don't worry about it. He's come to class.
He's an Asherite.
He's what?
He's an Asherite.
Oh,
Asher.
He's from the tribe of Asher. We need more of them in the school. We need more of all the tribe. Well, not Judah. Well, we need more Judah, but you know what I mean. We need really more Northern Kingdom. Yeah, they not Issachar. They ugly. They ugly Issachar. No, not all of them. Taziyar's not Issachar. No, Taziyar Judah. I'm Issachar. Y'all ain't know that? I'm finna change my registry, man. I'm finna go get some tacos. I'm finna go get some tacos right now. No, I'm playing. But Yashikar named me. Yashikar deemed me Issachar. He said I can hold it down for him. That's what he told me, man. Hey, I love Issachar. I love Zebulon. Yeah. Throw a house shoe at you in a heartbeat without even looking. Hit you dead right here. Oh, snap. I'm trying to tell you. Give me that scripture, 20:1. We've been talking about all this other stuff. We ain't even got the scripture. I know I bored y'all today with all this reading from the. Yes. After class?
Yeah, about the 12 tribes and the similarities to like how people use astrology. Because I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I'm a dad and I'm on Issachar, and just trying to take on the personalities of different each tribe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I see like how the oppressor takes her stuff and flips it, or now we have like astrology, and if you're an Aquarius, you go. And I'm just like the comparison, like how.
I got you. You're gonna be mad at me, but I got you.
Oh, okay.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 20, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit,
right,
and a great chain in his hand.
Right.
Verse 2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent,
Everybody know who the dragon is, right? The old serpent. Yeah, you know who the devil is, right? Okay, Edom, Esau. The dragon, those 7 kingdoms that came out of that Esau's kingdoms, and those 7. Y'all know something crazy? You know those 7 kingdoms? Guess who started those 7 kingdoms? They goddamn right. Black people started those kingdoms. Russia, Poland, and all that. That's what we're talking about today. How we started those kingdoms, and then the white men came and took over, and now they call themselves that. All right, y'all can have that. I'm an Israelite. Go ahead.
Which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Right, they bound him 1,000 years. When did that happen? That happened around the time of 193 AD. Right, it's more like 270 AD when the split of Rome happened and all that. But it's around that time where it started. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit.
And did what?
Cast him into the bottomless pit.
That's what they did. They cast him into the bottomless pit. What I do? Yeah, it became the royal family of Scotland. And later England and spelling Stuart gained prominence. Both spellings refer to the same clan and the same lineage today. Yeah, because they don't want the white men don't want a difference.
So he switched it?
Yeah, he switched it back. He switched it to where now Stuart and Stuart are the same lineage. You know what I mean? But it meant different lineages.
So they trying to confuse the heck out of people.
Duh. He's the devil. He's a what? What does the devil mean? And there's no confusion with the Lord.
Right. Do we have the real records of what happened to like the stewards and everything, and like what happened to them?
That I would have to talk. I would have to talk to the men above me about that one. If we have the records, I want to know. I want to see the records. I want to see them records. Well, I mean, yeah, they have the records. Yeah, they have the records, but not like because you know what happened to King James and King James' son and all that. Yeah, King James was so cold that he separated his kingdom from the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? Because back then the Catholic Church was like over all the kingdoms, all the emperors and all the kings, and then so when King James took power, the Catholic Church was ruling over that, and was ruling over England and all that, and he separated that from what's the name, because there was so much homosexuality and murder and all the rape and stuff that was going on in the Catholic Church. He separated it, and that's how you get Christian like Protestant and Baptist and Methodist and Lutheran and all that. That's how you get that. You get that from King James, separating from the Christian church. That's why he has his own Bible where he authorized different scholars to go through the Bible, to go through the records from Hebrew and Greek and translate it into English, because they were speaking English then, they wasn't speaking Hebrew and Greek. Make sense? That's why we use the King James Bible, because it's the most historic, accurate translation of the Bible. Yeah, word for word translation. All these other Bibles, ESG, NSG, NIV, LMNOP, there's all those Bibles are like, people reading the King James Version and then giving what they think the King James Version is about, is a thought for thought Bible. Make sense? All right. Keep going, Taziar. So the angel bound him up for 1,000 years. He had the key to the bottomless pit. The angel had the key to the bottomless pit. Go ahead, Taziar.
And shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more.
Right, because you got to remember, Rome The first white power was Alexander. Then Rome was a second white power. You know what I mean? And they were confusing the whole earth about this, about that, right? So he gonna bound them up for 1,000 years. Go ahead.
Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosened a little season.
Right. When did he get loose? When did he get loose?
I don't know the year.
1492. 1492 is when the white man got loosed again on the earth, and they started conquering the earth with Caesar Borgia and Leonardo da Vinci and the Ninja Turtles. For real, all those white paintings and stuff like that from back in the day, it's the Ninja Turtles. That's why they love the Ninja Turtles so much. Leonardo, Raphael. There's two, Michelangelo, and there's another one, Donatello. You know what I mean? Those philosophers and painters and stuff back then. That's why they loved them so much, the Ninja Turtles, because they're the ones that brought the Renaissance out. Oh, you know what I mean? Even Sir Isaac Newton was a black man. You know, to do gravity. Sir Isaac Newton, he was sitting under the tree, apple fell on his head. He was like, oh, but that's a lie. That's a lie. He was working with different metals and things from the earth, and then he started figuring out that different metals pull like magnets. You know what I mean? And then he started working with the earth and the ground, and then he started realizing that things was going around the earth, or the earth was going around things, and things were going around the earth. You know what I mean? So he started understanding about gravitational pull that way. Don't ask me how I know this, man. I swear I was a nerd growing up, but I wasn't. I just had a lot of time on my hands. I was always on punishment. Okay, my mama took everything away from me, and I read books, watched documentaries, and read books. Go ahead.
Verse 4, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them.
Right. So this is what we're talking about now, right? Because they were loosed for a little season. The Edomites, they were put in the pit for 1,000 years. Then the angel came and they were loose for a little season. This is the little season right now. It ain't been 1492 to it ain't even been 1,000 years. Yeah, it ain't even been 1,000 years. Like 600 years. So, you know what I mean? It is loose for a little season. Go ahead. They've been running loose. We start at verse 4 again.
Okay. Verse 4, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of men that were beheaded for the wit.
Not of man. Not of man.
Sorry. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Christ and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads.
Hold on. Who is that? They were beheaded. The ones that will witness Jesus. Ones that witnessed the King. Witness Yahweh.
The prophets, the disciples?
Yeah, but that's not talking about that. That already happened. When this was wrote, that already happened. So he's looking at the future. When he was writing this, this is a future prophecy. So he's having a vision, and he's looking at it, and he's writing it down. Let's read it again. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them.
Meaning the oppressors. They sat upon thrones. Right? Go ahead.
And judgment was given unto them.
And they was able to give judgment. You know what I mean? They were able to give judgment. Like that's what they do now. They're able to give judgment because we don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. So the Lord let another nation rule upon us. Go ahead.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Christ.
Right? He saw the souls of them that were beheaded because they witnessed Christ. They witnessed the king. Who is that? Who's the witnesses of the Most High, of Christ right now? Yeah, we are the ones that are witnessed. When it's talking about that, it's talking about the Sandra Blands. It's talking about the Botham Johns. You know what I mean? The what's the brother that had knee on his neck? George Floyd. It's talking about that. It's talking about the ones that witnessed Yahushua. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. And for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image.
Right. We witnessed the word of God. We witnessed Christ. We are not worshiping the beast. We don't celebrate Christmas. We ain't celebrating Easter. Yesterday was Easter, but we was in here feasting on unleavened bread. We're not doing nothing. We're not worshiping the beast. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. Neither had received his mark upon their foreheads.
Right. We did not receive the mark upon our foreheads. Right. Talking about his understanding, his understanding, his way of life, how he thinks. Right. We didn't receive that mark of the beast. Go ahead.
And in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Right. That's what he's saying. He's going to see us live and reign with Christ for 1,000 years, meaning a long dispensation of time. Yeah, y'all get that? You understand? All right, sis, get your question. Give me 10, Jeremiah 10 and 1. Yeah. Because you was talking about how the tribes and
Yes, like yes, sir. I was just thinking like yesterday, about like my mom and like how we're all like from different tribes and whatnot, like my
Right.
dad and their Ishakar, and people were saying, like how we have the different horoscopes and how you take on personality traits. I was kind of thinking about the same, like, is that what the oppressor has done in regards to just astrology in general? Because it's something that we're not supposed to
deal in.
at all.
Oh,
So I was, just saying, like, is that something that they took and twisted, like our history?
they haven't took and twisting it. They really believe it. So how it works is like we read the stars and we know it's a new day. We know it's a new month. We know it's a new year, right? They read the stars and they go, oh, let's worship it. Apollo, the sun god, right? That's why all the religion that's around the earth, they always have something around the worship of stars and the worship of the sky and the worship of the moon, the worship of the sun. Every religion, every religion, no matter what religion it is, it always goes back to the worship of the god, of the god, sun, moon, even Easter. And I was hoping you brought it out about Easter being the spring equinox. That's what the worship of Easter is. The worship of Easter is the actual spring equinox. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Is the days getting shorter, longer? It's the days getting longer. And so they understood that the days started getting longer. Let's change the time. And they started, it's the spring equinox, and they started worshiping it. And then another culture came in and they called it Ishtar and this, that, and another culture came in, and now they calling it Easter. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's all the same worship. It's just it's the same worship, a different culture. Same God, different culture. That makes sense? That makes sense. So when you get to astrology and stuff like that, it's just so they have astrology here, Sagittarius, what do you call it? Sagittarius, Aquarius, Cancers, and all that nonsense, right? But then you go to China, they have the Chinese calendar, the year of the rat, the year of the bull, the year of the Taurus. You know what I mean? They have so it just depends on what culture, where you at in the earth, to where how they're gonna worship the stars and the moon and the sun and all that. Exactly, because that's what they believe in. They believe in the stars and the moon and stuff like that. We don't have to believe in the stars and the moon because our God is a living God. Our God gave us rules, regulations, laws, statutes, commandments to follow. That's it. He didn't tell us, hey man, look. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying the whole time. We don't have to guess and figure out things. We can just read the Bible and figure it out. The Bible says what it says. You know what I mean? When I look at John 3:16, it says the world. When I look at it, I say, okay, I read the context, like that's very simple to understand. When other people read it in John 3:16, they say the word, they say, oh, the whole world. That's why they be like, and the world. That's why they do that. Like, why are you putting so much emphasis on the world? Why don't you just put emphasis on gave his life? Yeah, like you know what I mean? It's because they want you to understand. They want you to understand that world means the whole world, which the world never meant the whole world. Never. It would never mean the whole world. It never meant the whole world. In the future, it's not going to mean the whole world. We have all types of different worlds here. How many different worlds do we have in this galaxy? How many? How no, like answer the question, like really, how many like planets do we have? 8. It used to be 9 when I was growing up, but Pluto's not a planet no more. You dig what I'm saying? How many, like the SeaWorld? You got SeaWorld, you got the world of sports, you got the media world, you got the world of television, you know what I mean? You got the rap world. I wanted to say it, but I'm not. I'm not caviar. I'm not. Let's end the class. With that, Shalom Yahweh Shem Shavrak Thumb, Yahweh Shemal Thumb by Shem Yahweh Shai. We the Isupk start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yana. Shalom.